As far as I'm concerned, staying at the Land's End, I would accept as payment for most work. That would be a fine
it's a
payment
lovely,
for me.
beautiful place.
And they're so sweet there.
Are we live?
We're live. We're on the internet.
Hooray! We're on the internet. It's very posh.
I'm not very good with jokes, but one time a man years ago said, "Oh, you should come be on my show because I put it on YouTube and then there's millions of potential viewers." And so I like that positive thinking. We have millions of potential viewers.
We have millions of people out there. The possibility of it, anything's possible.
Yeah, it feels so good to know that, I think.
We're just a seed and the plants can grow from us.
Yes. And I've got to tell you, I was thinking about this earlier because I love your music. And to me, your music and like the vibe you put out is like a spring day. And I think it's impossible to be unhappy when listening to you. That's
very nice. And is it a spring day today? Because it's nasty up here.
I know, it's kind of
it's a bit miserable. Are you saying I'm miserable and grey?
No, you were like it was yesterday.
Oh,
it was
you
so
were lovely.
Not so much today.
Well, you know what we just did yesterday? Was it yesterday? Saturday? Yeah. No, the day before when it was really warm. Yes, it's Saturday. We went swimming in a pond.
You did.
But we have wetsuits we invested in. But my gosh, it's my new thing I love to do. And we go swimming. I mean, we swam all through December. And then we went off traveling. But we're crazy swimmers. But it is spring because actually I had 2 wetsuits on. But we did it. We were in for a nice long time because but it's gorgeous. Do you like swimming?
I do. I love swimming, although I'm not good at it. And I do not like to be submerged. I like to be up to here.
Okay, well that's kind of submerged. That is submerged.
Well, I guess
under.
It's my noggin. I like noggin out.
You like to be swimming. You just don't like to be snorkeling.
Yes. We have so many people.
Hooray, people!
So
Well, I think we should should we sing a song?
Yes. Okay. I just have to introduce you. This is Zoey Lewis. And I am just absolutely over the moon that Zoey is joining me tonight because I'm a huge fan and you're all going to love her and she's like a spring day. Take it away, Zoey.
Oh, I'm on. Thanks, Grace. I'm on first. And that's Grace, if everyone knows her, and she's lovely. And we met at the New Bedford Folk Festival, didn't we?
Yes, and I have a story about that. But I can tell after.
All right, tell after. But it was a great festival, and we shared the stage. So I'm gonna take. I feel like playing one of the songs that I wrote when I was in Mexico, and I am having a wee dram. And this is cheers, everyone. Happy spring. This is one that I wrote because I play every winter, normally when there's not a pandemic, in Mexico, in Puerto Vallarta. And it's a beautiful town, and I love that country, and I love the Latin grooves, and I love the Latin culture. So it all turned me upside down, and on a Sunday on the beach, all the people come in from all over the place. There's the grandmas, the grandpas, the little babies, the chihuahuas, the food sellers, the people selling boom boxes, the mariachis are in your ear. Another mariachi is in your ear. A barking dog is in your 3rd ear, and your 4th ear is having a screaming baby, and then your 5th ear is having a laughing baby, and it's a beautiful cacophony of sound. And I wrote this on a Sunday there. So we'll start off this beautiful show with Grace. Can I have you all out there in computer land going ay, 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 ay. A little bit of chili, a little bit of lime, salt on the rim in a little bit of time. Gonna feel happy, gonna feel fine, I'm gonna feel a very, very fine Sunday morning. The sound of bells, the dogs are barking, the baking smells. Time to make coffee, sweet and strong, singing and dancing the whole night long. That bottle of tequila, it went down nice, tasted so good, we drank it twice. I know I should remember, but I cannot. The moon was swinging and the stars were hot. Yes, a little bit of chili, a little bit of lime, salt on the rim, a little bit of time. Gonna feel happy, gonna feel fine, we're gonna feel A very, very fine kitty girl. There's a pelican diving for a fish in its chopstick beak is a tasty dish if a bocadillo is your desire. You're gonna get a dose of red hot fire, cause there's chili in the tacos, chili on the chips, chili in the mangoes, chili on the lips, chili in the oysters, chili in the rice. Life is much better with extra spice. Just a little bit of chili, a little bit of lime, salt on the rim in a little bit of time. Gonna feel happy, gonna feel fine, I'm gonna feel hot. A very, very fine kitty girl. Ra ba 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 ba. Far away from town, the snow is falling down. So say salut, salut to the sun. For we're the lucky ones, aren't we the lucky ones? Ho! Ho! Oh look, there's some mariachis. Come over here. Hey! Here they come. There's quite a crowd, all the mariachis are getting loud. Turn up your radio, jump in the sea, come and have a swim with humanity. There's a tiny baby, a shrimp on a stick, a toy chihuahua sneaking a lick, agua fresca, homemade flan. Here comes my friend, the donut man. Yes, a little bit of chili, a little bit of lime, salt on the rim, a little bit of time. Gonna feel happy, I'm gonna feel fine. We're gonna feel very, very, very fine. Just a little bit of chili, a little bit of lime, salt on the rim, and a little bit of time. Gonna feel happy, gonna feel fine. I'm gonna feel a very, very fine kitty girl. Da 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 da. La va 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 va, la va 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 va, la va 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 va. Hey, la va 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 va. Hey!
You are so amazing!
I think I exploded. It's funny, you know, not performing too much like I usually do. The words sometimes fly out of my head.
Did that happen in that song?
Well, a few things occurred, but I am a pro, so I managed to swap things around and reinvent the song. So
I'll say, you have so many people were loving that.
Oh, thank you,
How could
people.
you not love that? And somebody said, band in a body. Is that your tagline?
Yes, that is a long time ago someone said that about me, and you know, I try and do the bass with here, the trumpet here, and the chords, of course, and then I play many instruments. So maybe later I'll do some other things too and show you.
Please.
You know how it is. I mean, I've lived off music all my life, and I've played all sorts of funny places.
Yes.
So you have to learn some skills, don't you?
I'll say. So, all right. So, speaking of skills, so I'm remembering when we played New Bedford Folk Festival. I think was 2014 or 15. I think.
Oh, I can't remember at all.
And I
but it was fun.
It was so much fun. And I think that was the year that my band had broken up. And all of a sudden, and it was like weeks before New Bedford Folk Festival, and all of a sudden, I had to like figure out how to do it all by myself. And so I was really like overwhelmed because I didn't have a solo act at the time. And we were in the round, you were running a workshop. And I don't remember what the song was, but you said, "Come on, Grace, come and scat." And that's not my skill set.
I know, I'm always terrible. I was like, come on, but you did beautifully.
I'm glad that's how you remember.
And I had no idea that you hadn't got your band and you were feeling like that. You just came and joined in. You were game.
Oh my goodness, but what was funny about it is I went to school for jazz voice and jazz piano.
Well, there we go.
However, when I tried to scat, someone said to me, can you please not? And ever since that comment, I just didn't try again until
Well,
I
who
did.
is that person? Because I need to go and knock on their door. Because it's not okay when people say that, don't do it. It's like my mum, you know, they told her never play the piano, never, you're musically tone deaf. So the whole time growing up, we would make musical jokes, you know, she played along and we would say how terrible she was if she'd sing to the radio, la 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 la, we'd go, shh, ah. But then when she was 90, I said, you know what, you're not bad. See, people have been telling you all your life you're bad because her mum told her she was bad. And I was like, yeah, it's lovely what you're doing. And that person is naughty telling you not to scat.
So that's one of the things that I find so interesting about people is that people think it's funny to say to someone, oh, don't sing or you can't sing. And like, what if they're stealing such an important thing from you? Because singing isn't necessarily about what other people think is great, right? It's like about, it just feels so good to sing.
And
so
you know,
I'm
it's
with
all,
you.
and it's different people's interpretation. In P-Town, I do a 1920s show, and when in normal times, I have all different special guests. We might have the lady from the bank or the mailman or a waiter. I mean, everyone's got an incredible talent hidden.
Yeah.
And some are incredible virtuosos, some are brilliant, and some you just have to coerce the right song and encourage. And then, you know, I mean, I would like that for me. I mean, you know, we all need that support, and you find the gems then that come out of you. You surprise yourself sometimes. So
It's so true. You're gonna make me cry here. Yeah.
don't stop scatting. That's what I'm trying to say.
I better start.
But you know what, Grace? You are just wonderful. What you do, it's gorgeous.
Thank you. I've killed enough time, so maybe people don't remember how amazing your song was. So now I can do mine. And so I live in Rochester, Mass, which is a pretty small town because I come from Wareham, where the population. I grew up thinking Wareham was a small town. It isn't. So now I live. Our population, I think, is like 2,000 people. But P-Town probably has a much smaller population than that.
Well, we have 3,000 in the winter. Actually, it's gone up this winter because of COVID, but usually it's 3,000. And then it's 50,000 in the summer.
That's insane to think about. I wonder has everyone or mentioned to us if you have not been to Provincetown. It's just such an amazing, it's my favorite town in the whole wide world. It's hard to imagine that 50,000 people could fit. It's so tiny.
No, well, it's a little bit like sardines in a can. That's why we're a little worried about this summer. But it's, 50,000 or more on Carnival. And we're not having the fireworks and things this year. But yeah, it's squashed. Every nook and cranny is filled. But the beautiful thing is, you know, there's the National Seashore. So everyone just wants to walk up and down Commercial Street. So you can escape, and especially if you're a local and you know where to go. Yeah. I can go in the middle of the summer and go and just be on my own in the middle of nature all day and not see a soul if I want. Yeah. So it's lovely.
So I was thinking, the beginning of 2020, my husband and our 1-year-old went on tour. We drove from Massachusetts to New Mexico and back. And I got home and I wrote this song kind of lamenting that I was in a small town because I had so loved traveling, not realizing that I would be in said small town for the rest of the year, right? But it's just this idea that, and I wonder if this is true there too, like you can't get away with anything. Like people know you around town, right? And so you got to be careful and always.
You got to keep your nose clean. I come from a little village on the south coast of England, so I know. I know how it's like. I grew up with that, so it's we would go to church on Sundays, and my mum would always say, you know, that lady will smile to us today, but then the rest of the week she won't. But and I made them go to church because I wanted to go to the choir, you know. But anyway, no, everyone knows everything in a small village, and it's the same here. I can't misbehave. Well, you can misbehave on the streets in Provincetown, but everyone will know.
Right.
They'll go, that was Zoey Lewis doing that.
So remind me that I want to ask you about your letter video.
Okay.
I don't want to forget that.
Right,
so I'm going to sing my small town lament. That's my song. And I never remember to do this for myself, so I'm going to remember right now to throw up. This is my Facebook page. And I also want to mention, too, our whole income is from tips. So if you can, please contribute to our virtual tip jar. It's in the clickable link above. If you can't, though, just liking and following us on the various social media platforms makes a big old difference. So I'm going to sing Small Town Lament. Tired of living in a small town in the sea. I do one tiny little thing and everybody knows me. So I smile at the man at the diner, I smile at the lady downtown. I do one tiny little thing and word gets around. Sometimes I go drinking, I never go too far. No, I'm not thinking when I get back in my car. I breathe in deep and lustful. I breathe in 'cause it's good. I breathe in 'cause it's legal and I think everybody should. I know, that's just the way it goes. I know, whether you're up or down, word gets around, word gets around. Smile at the man at the diner and I smile at the lady downtown. I do one tiny little thing and word gets around. I know, that's just the way it goes. I know. Thank you.
What a great song.
Thank you. I just experimented. I don't like singing through headphones, but there's no awkward way to take these on and off. Not awkward.
How was that? How did that feel?
So much better.
Yeah, I know.
So much better. Thank you, John. So, all right, I have a practical music question for you. I think this is a practical question.
Okay.
So I'm preparing a fan funding campaign, and I had asked people what sorts of merch they might like to see, what would be a good incentive. Have you ever in your life used a koozie?
Well, I'm strange because I'm English. So people would get very merry and give me a koozie when I have my beer, but don't they know that I want warm beer? You see, I don't want my beer to be cold. And, okay, in England, I grew up, well, I didn't grow up with warm ale, but I mean, in the pubs, it was warmer. And then, you go, like in Mexico, okay, I fancy a cold beer. But when I go for a beer, I say, please, can I not have a chilled glass? I don't want a chilled glass. I want it room temperature, or it's like people are beginning to chill their wine, their red wine. I mean, come. So
ice cubes in it.
Not correct, but as far as I'm, I like room temperature. Same with my beer, but they have been changing the kegs in England. The taste of the English is now getting colder and colder beer. I notice when I go back, but no, you didn't, and it's a cold country. You don't want a cold beer. So my answer is no to koozies. But what do I know? You see, maybe you'll do really well with koozies.
Maybe.
The only trouble is you have to carry them around with you.
Right. And I've never used a koozie. I feel like it's a tailgating thing. Like I can picture koozies at concerts. Anyway, I got a whole bunch of koozies.
Oh.
I just don't. I'm not a good person.
Well, so see if people want a koozie. So I said the wrong thing, didn't I?
No, you didn't, because I only got them because people requested them, and then the whole time
Oh,
I'm
well
thinking,
then-
people really use them?
But you're asking the wrong person here. But I
Yeah,
think
me too.
that I have many friends who have koozies and probably would love a koozie off you. So
Okay, no, it's just in general, I was stunned that was a thing people wanted.
what else do you have merch-wise?
I'm getting some custom ceramic mugs.
Nice.
I found a bunch of local artisans who do pottery, so we're doing that sort of thing. I'm still trying to figure it out. I've got mugs and koozies.
I only have CDs. I do have T-shirts. I have T-shirts. I did see my friend had socks.
That's a cool
That's a good
one.
thing. And yeah, I know. It's good to get. I don't know. I mean,
People could tell us, though. Give us
I
ideas
wanted
for
to get
merch.
bottles because I have a song about plastic pollution, and I wanted to have bottles, water bottles
Yeah.
that were not made of plastic.
You can do that.
Yeah, but then the thing is, no, and it's great, and you do it online these days. But I used to carry around back in the day when CDs weren't so skinny. CDs aren't a thing anymore. But I would put like 200 CDs in my bag. And a ukulele and all sorts of them, drag it around and go to a festival, carrying so much stuff on tour. And Lord forbid if I had koozies too.
Well, all you need. This is all you need.
T-shirts, at least, because the annoying thing about T-shirts is they're like, we'd love to buy one, but do you have a XXX or something? Or do you have an extra small? Oh, no, I just have a me. So koozies come in one size. It's good.
And I just think the koozie. And it's a funny word, too.
It's kind of rude, it seems.
Koozie.
Koozie.
But
Where does it come from? What's the origin? Can you
My-
Google that, people?
I have a guess, and I'd be interested. I didn't Google it. My guess is, the thing that you put on a teapot, a tea
Yes.
cozy. It's got to be from that, right?
I don't know.
Koozie,
Maybe you're
cozy?
drunk and you say, I'll have a koozie for my back.
That could be it. So I wanted to just point people. There's no pressure to play this song tonight. But at the beginning of the
Could have
pandemic,
told me before.
no pressure. The beginning of the pandemic, you put out a video about a letter. You put it out then, right? That's when you made it.
I made the video, but that song is actually old because I am a Luddite. I haven't got my flip phone with me to show you, but when computers started becoming, part of our lives more and more, I just missed the communication, of course, in the old ways. And I got this book. I was very pleased. It was called The Minutes of the Lead Pencil Club. And it was about the joys of the lead pencil, because there's nothing like sitting on a tuft of grass writing a song. Now we do everything on the computer. In fact, I do everything with one finger on the computer, and now I've got a bad arm. But anyway, the thing is, I love just writing and the beauty of a red pencil and writing letters. That's how we used to communicate. This song is an old song. I was upset then, and now I'm really upset. But now, of course, these things do start coming back. But the demise of the post office and everything, so I thought I'm going to bring that old song back and make on the computer a video.
Yes.
Because now I do iMovie, and I went around Provincetown with my girlfriend's iPhone, filming things and collecting footage, and it's really fun to make a collage of a movie.
It was just so well done, and that memory is one of my first lovely memories of this whole awful year that we've had. Like, when I saw that video, it just took me to a happy place, and I thank you. Everyone needs to look at the video.
Do you like writing letters?
I do. Whenever somebody buys a CD from me, I write them a letter to go with it. It's just, I don't know. And when I write a song, I have to do it with pencil on paper. I cannot write on a computer. Can you?
No, well, I always jot it down. No, I always do it by hand. Yeah. But then we put it in and I do use GarageBand and things now to add, to embellish. But
that initial writing, for me, it's got to be tactile.
Well, I'm not usually... if I'm feeling really inspired, I'm on my bicycle or I'm sitting on a sand dune or I'm traveling around the world and I just like a small one of those moleskin notebooks in my pocket and get it out when you have ideas, and that's why I came to this country, really. I fancied myself like sitting on a boxcar, being like Bob Dylan or, it's not as romantic on a computer. Better to have a moleskin notebook and to go off and I've travelled the world a lot, so it's very nice to have one of those to jot. Your computer will get stolen anyway, and it'll probably break if you're in a rainforest or something. For those kind of tunes, you need a notebook. So
yes, that's a good merch idea.
Ah, yes.
A Zoey Lewis notebook.
Would anyone use it?
I would. I absolutely would.
Does anyone buy a CD anymore?
Now, see, that's the question. Tell us over here in the comments if people... Ken Stahl suggested... Hold on. He said or underwear. I'm trying to figure out what that was in addition to.
That's not to do with Ken is naughty.
I'm going to have to go back and read that again. What song will you play next?
You could do well, while we're on this, I'll do an underwear song.
Oh!
No, not really. Calm down, Ken. Calm down. No.
Nancy says yes, she buys CDs, and Tim says no, he does not.
Okay.
So now we're 50-50.
Well, I enjoy a record. Remember these?
Yes.
Now, this is not a 33, this is a 78, because I have a vitrola, a wind-up vitrola, that I can tie on the back of my kayak, and I can go on a ride, and I can find a beautiful sandy spot for a picnic, take out my picnic, take out my records, my wind-up vitrola, and play music to the seagulls and my true love. It's a good date. It's better than bringing the computer or the boombox. Let's go on a date, don't hesitate, 'cause darling, I just cannot wait to play you a 78. Soon under the moon we'll wind up a tune. I think that you'll appreciate the sound of a 78, because life is full of scratches, especially these days, and there's a simple tonic in these antiquarian ways. Please, darling, don't laugh at my phonograph. I think that you'll appreciate the sound of a 78. Will you sway, please? Gently place the needle on the Bakelite, depending how you're feeling. We can stay up all night, just like Fred Astaire. We'll be dancing on air. So come on, darling, don't be late. Let me play you a 78, 'cause I just can't wait to play you a 78.
Oh my goodness, that was awesome. Oh, so I never asked the simple question: what is your musical training? Did you study piano?
When I was little, I had piano lessons, and I did classical. In England, we do, you just go to a lady's house and a man's house, and and you're naughty and you get hit on the wrist if you make a mistake. And then I did my grades up to grade 8, so we have grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Did you actually have a teacher that hit your hand if you made
I
a mistake?
did. She was like 90 something. Miss Wooten. She had a crooked house and she was a crooked lady. And I never wanted to go there, but she started me off, and then I had another piano teacher. But I really found jazz and all of that myself. I never did go to college. I never did go to study. I went traveling the world. I joined bands, and the Latin tinge of pop was sort of happening in London. I moved to London. I joined some bands. I tried to learn Latin. I didn't know what all this funny groove was, and then I just wanted to come to the States. I wanted to go to New Orleans. I wanted to go to San Francisco to find myself, But I didn't for a while. I went around the world and I picked up more grooves in Peru, Venezuela, the Caribbean, Calypso. I was in my 20s, and then I did come to San Francisco. I did jump freight trains. I did get an old VW bus with my friends and
You
drive.
did the thing.
We went out to every state. I've driven across this country many times, and eventually, anyway, I could go on. But I went to New Orleans, and I just hung over those piano players' shoulders and tried to get the swing, the groove.
You got it.
Oh.
Ken is wondering how long you lived in Mexico. Did you live in Mexico or did you visit?
No, I'm a rambling soul, but I have been to a lot of Latin countries traveling. But I go to Mexico now every winter for the last 5 winters in Puerto Vallarta, which is very touristy and gringo. But I've been to many other places all over Mexico too. But I usually spend 3 months there every winter.
Oh, that's so lovely.
And I play there, so it's great.
I was going to ask if you go for a vacation or if you go to play.
No, I go for gigs. So I go and do gigs, but they give me a place to stay, and I have about 4 gigs a week, and I've been meeting the local musicians and getting to jam with them more. My Spanish is terrible, but it's getting better. I've been studying. That's what I did in COVID. I kept doing Spanish classes. And
did you use like Duolingo or something like that?
I just have my Eddie, the guy that I was going to lessons there, and he does it online, and he's great. And I have had travelers Spanish for ages. When you're a musician, you just start jamming, and then people come and jam with you, and that's your language, Yeah. So I've met lots of friends that way, and of course, lots of people manage to speak English much quicker than I speak Spanish, but we can communicate with all our different ways, so it's great.
Yeah, I love it. My mother-in-law is here. I told her she would love you, and she is here.
Hello, Sharon. I know your name's Sharon. Nice to meet you.
So I was thinking about when you were playing that song, we were talking about records, and we were talking about like old analog type things. The closest song I have to touching on that is about summer bonfires.
Oh, lovely.
Because when my husband and I met, I was going through I was having a time, and I was trying to get over things, and my method for doing that was to burn things. I had a bonfire every night, and what we did, my mom saved everything I ever owned in my whole life. She saved it. But then we lost our family home, so I had all this shit. And so I had like lunch menus from 1991. Things I didn't need. So my husband and I bonded. We would look at the things, and then he helped me to let go of them. So this is kind of a love song inspired by the magic of a bonfire.
Beautiful.
And this is always the one that I inevitably forget the words to, so I have the words in front of me. And I don't think that's cheating. I think that's okay. Something about a summer night spent talking, just talking. Something in your summer eyes I'm liking. I've been a lone star as long But you offer up a glass that I can bear, and it's a real sure thing. We're all gonna fall. I'd rather spill the cup than feel nothing at all. This lone star. Sitting round this summer fire, we're drinking, just drinking. I'd like to ask you all the things you're thinking, but what am I thinking? I've been a lone star as long as I've been here, but you offer up a glass that I can bear, and it's a real sure thing. We're all gonna fall. I'd rather spill the cup than feel nothing at all. This lone star. This lone star. Help me, I'm burning up. I don't wanna give it up. Help me, I'm burning up for you. Something about the way you look at me smiling. What are you hiding? 'Cause it's a real sure thing. We're all gonna fall. I'd rather spill the cup than feel nothing at all. This lone star. This lone star.
Hooray!
I went with the one headphone. That's
It
marginally.
sounded great. You have an incredible voice. I love your voice.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
I really appreciate that, because I was going to tell you one of my favorite parts of your artistry is how effortless and light your voice is. It just sounds like it feels good to sing.
Oh,
I love it.
well, thank you. Particularly when I do Satchmo impersonations.
Do you do one? Oh, you did one. You did one.
Yeah.
Hello. It's because
And
I
then
had a
it's-
martini.
It's all right, good. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you had it. And bonfires, where do you have the bonfires? Do you have them in your yard or in...
I did. I lived at a house that had multiple fire pits. So that was, now we have a fire pit that overlooks our cranberry bogs, which is very nice. It's poetic
Wow.
even. Poetic.
I love a fire pit. I mean, in the summer in Provincetown, we have them on the beach. You can get a permit, or we used to have music on the beach and a beautiful fire where everyone would join together. But yeah, we're doing them at our own homes now.
Have you done the beach concert for Peter?
Yes.
Oh man.
Did you do that?
I did.
Well, afterwards there's a fire if you go down onto the beach. Yeah.
What a night.
And
So
it's
for those
so
of you
fun.
who don't know, Zoey lives in Provincetown, which is right, if Massachusetts is an arm, it's the fingertips here. And they do, there's an amazing arts scene, which you can speak more to. But a few years back, I played that concert series, and it ends, you're right on the beach, and it ends at dusk. And my guitar player at the time said, "Oh, I'm going to go swimming now." And all I could think of was, there are sharks.
Yes.
There are sharks. That seems not prudent.
I know, it's
he
not
survived.
good. Yeah, it's and I think, well, I there's mixed things about when they come out, but I thought that was the time when they are, at sunset. Oop, My ukulele is
That's what my dad always told me, was that sunset was the time to not go into the water, because that's when the sharks come out.
I know.
So Christopher asked me what kind of piano I have. This is a Kurtzman piano. My piano tuner had never heard of a Kurtzman piano, but it's from Buffalo, New York, and it's circa 1924.
How beautiful.
And Eric says that P-Town is the oldest artist colony in the country.
This is true. It is. It's the oldest. I mean, we had this in the 1920s, I believe. It was really happening. It was the largest arts colony in the world, I believe, in the 20s.
Do you know
Everyone
how
was coming here.
How did it become that in the first place?
Well, we had Hans Hofmann, Charles Hawthorne. We had art schools here, and they, they were drawn because of the light, and so there were a lot of gentry, rich people would come to learn painting. So you would have the swarthy Portuguese community who were getting on with their fishing and pulling in the nets and drying the cod on all the piers of our ramshackle little town. And there was so much to paint. And then, gradually, more and more artists came and it became more bohemian, but really because of the schools and because of the light. It's the magic here. It's the magic light that they come still. I mean, every night it's like a painting when you walk around. I look at the sky. So no wonder the artists came and then all the people came to learn from the artists, and then they needed places to stay. So boarding houses, and then because it's on the tip of the land, anything goes, and so prohibition apparently never happened here. And, whatever happened, and now it's a gay community, so it was always very open and free thinking. So that's my interpretation of it, and I love it. And it evolves always through the years. It changes, it's of course getting very expensive here now. But there's still artists, a lot of the artists can't afford to live here anymore, sadly, so we have to have programs and things to try and make that happen. But there's still great art and the Fine Arts Work Centre has writing, scholarships in the winter or residencies, and, it's great. For me, that, there's always different levels. Every year I explore and discover. Even after 30 years of living here, I find a new thing every year, and you could go into a whole writer's scene, or a whole fisherman's scene, or a whole, poet scene, or a whole painter's scene, white line print, gay scene, music circle,
Yeah.
Shellfish, I could keep going, mushroomers, and then and the circles all kind of connect in different ways, and I love it.
So my impression as someone who does not live in Provincetown is that it just seems like in the off season, a community of it just seems like a really friendly community. Is it pretty tight-knit group? Or is that just my poetic license? Yeah,
no. Well, you go to Commercial Street in the winter and there's no one there. 0 people. You could roll a bowling ball. But then you wander into the one place it's happening that night. Could it be trivia at the Squealing Pig? Is it the movie night, at WMR? Is it? And then, is it Monday night at the Muse? So there's nothing. And you open the door and all of a sudden it's packed and there's a swinging scene going on, so...
that's what it so much. One of my favorite memories, I went to my friend had a bachelorette party at the Crown and Anchor. And, we're waiting to go in. It was a drag show, and we're waiting to go in, and one of the performers came up to me and said, "What's your name?" And I said, "It's Grace." And they said, "You are not graceful." Oh, okay.
B-I-N.
Well, they weren't wrong. They were not wrong.
Well, they're not so keen on the bachelorette's parties, Cheeky. But look, come on, we need girls here too.
Is there a chance that you might do the eyelash?
Oh, sure.
You don't have to, and you don't have to do it next. But I just really like that song a lot.
No, I'll do. I'm here. I'm here to please. And you know what? The eyelash lady. I wonder if I've got her book handy. Here, talk for a moment. I'm going to tell about the eyelash. Tell me what you know about the eyelash.
Yes, I'll tell you what I know. So what I know about the eyelash lady is that Zoey Lewis has a song about the eyelash lady, and I feel like I could be wrong. I feel like she's in her 90s. Is she in her 90s?
Oh, because I couldn't hear you.
All I said was
Now-
that what I know
No,
is...
she just turned 101.
What?
This is her last book, 99, Straight Up No Chaser. This is Joy Dust, Alona Royce Smithkin. Yeah, she's 101. I just played ukulele from the beach to her, looking up, and all the town turned up to sing to her. She's, talk about a small town. She lived in Greenwich Village, and in the winters and here in the summers. She turned up when it was an artist colony. She's painted, she's an artist. Alona Royce Smithkin, look her up. She was in Advanced Style, a movie about all the women daring to be themselves and dressing as they will. And there's so many stories, because she's 101, she's got a million stories, but she is like inside 21. She takes it slowly now. She goes for a walk down 3 flights of stairs every day and goes along the beach. She still lives on her own. She still looks after herself. Someone comes and brings her sandwiches. But you know, when I met her, well, she's quite small now, but she was small when I met her, and this little lady came up to me. In the winter, it was snow probably was on the ground, and she had no, it was the autumn, that was it. She was matching the leaves because she had a shock of bright red hair. And I thought, who is this lady in all the colourful clothes? And she came up to me. And as she got nearer, I noticed she'd taken some of her hair, cut it off, and stuck it on her eyelashes. And she came fluttering up to me and said, Zoe, she knew my name. She said, Zoe, I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time. Would you play piano for me? And I said, I would love to. I said, have you performed before? She said, no, never, but I know I can. So I said, okay, maybe we should have a practice. What do you want to do? And she said, I would like to sing Marlene Dietrich. So Alona came to my house. We had a little practice. I had found one of life's born performers, so I invited her to play at my show that night. We were going to do 3 songs. She came in 3 different outfits. She stripped off each outfit. They were all on top of each other. Feather boas, sequins, fishnet stockings. She was on a high stool on the first song. She sang it very sultry. She had them in the palm of her hand. On the second song, she peeled off another layer. She started doing a dance on the stool. And on the third one, I went as fast as I could. And you know what? She did the whole song canning around the room, and on my final chord, she jumped in the air and did the splits. She was late 80s at this time, and I don't know if you can do the splits out there. Maybe Ken can. But Sharon, can you do the splits? Anyway, she had a hard life growing up. She escaped the Holocaust. She made it to New York, and she says, darling, be yourself. Don't let anybody else tell you how to be. Be yourself now. If you want to cut your hair and stick it on your eyelashes, do it. Be yourselves, everyone. Romantic fools often direct their hearts to assorted anatomical parts. But I stumbled upon the sweetest reverie the day that you first winked at me. You and your eyelashes are causing car crashes all over this town. Yeah, trendsetters are making mad dashes whenever you and those satin sashes are hanging around. You and your eyelashes know just what panache is. Merci beaucoup. Film stars with fancy mustaches, Rapunzel-esque lasses, pale in comparison with you. Oh, those ocular fringes give me twinges, so my knees go weak. The size of the visors around her eyes is simply magnifique. You and your eyelashes are causing hot flashes. You could make a phoenix rise from the ashes. How quickly it seems the time passes looking at you and your eyelashes. Yeah. Oh, those ocular fringes give me twinges, so my knees go weak. The size of the visors around her eyes is simply magnifique. You and your eyelashes are causing car crashes. You could make a phoenix rise from the ashes. How quickly it seems that time passes looking at you and your eyelashes. I've gone Latin. Now normally in a gig I sing this and the audience sings it back. Now I can't hear you, but you can still do it at home. So if I sing something, please repeat it. Here we go. I, eyelashes.
Oh my goodness.
Crazy.
Lest anyone forget it, you define entertainer. Like
I think I just turned into the Muppet Show.
You're effervescent, Zoe. Effervescent.
Oh, well, thank you.
Oh, love it. Oh,
Well, I wish you were here sitting by me singing aye back.
Me
We could have
too.
scattered on that one, you see?
I would have been not good at it, but I would have
You
tried.
would have been supreme.
I could play my little foot tambourine
Supreme.
with you, or my accordion. But I'm thinking about
You
all
have
the.
accordion.
Well, I play the piano. I don't really play the accordion. I do the keyboard side.
Great.
You must play
No,
accordion.
it's difficult, the accordion.
It's so
I mean, I do
hard.
have some, but it's very, I can't write, I tried to write songs on it, but you can't sing over it because it's loud in your ear. It's coming up and
I'm glad it's not just me
it's
because
not easy.
and I keep trying to find a way to accompany myself on accordion and sing, and it just doesn't.
It's tricky.
It's more
It's
of
not
like
a lot of, well, I mean, in Mexico they do it. You know, you have to really sing loudly. I
But
think.
they're doing the buttons, I imagine, too. You know, the buttons give the chord.
Yeah,
I haven't the time to learn the
Oh,
buttons.
Oh, you've
Do
got
you-
a baby. You haven't got the time for the buttons.
You don't you have like a scrapey thing too?
I do
Is
have a
that in my
scrapey
mind?
thing.
What's it called?
It's called a washboard.
Thank you. I was. I don't know why my brain wanted it to have a fancier name.
Here's my scrapey thing.
Yes, your scrapey thing. With
I
a
have all sorts of toys lying on the floor around here. It's just that's why I can't use these because it restricts my movement. There we go.
Oh yeah. Joanne remembers me playing the accordion at New Bedford Folk Festival.
Oh,
I don't remember it, but I'm glad that Joanne does. And I think it's funny that you mentioned Ken as being able to do the splits. Because Ken
I don't
actually-
know.
No, but Ken is very fit. He runs every single day
Oh.
for the past over a year.
Wow.
Probably 370 days in a row. He's run at least 3 miles a day.
Well, is Ken still watching?
He might be.
Because
Ken,
can you tell us if you can do the splits?
inquiring minds would like to know, Ken, if you can do splits.
Or
So
maybe
it's-
we don't want to. Maybe that's too much information.
Well, he brought up the underwear earlier, so maybe.
I know.
Maybe.
That's why I brought him up. But
You know, it's so funny. I always feel like when I do shows with people, I'm generally the one that feels like I have to come in and do something upbeat. But this is very different because I am not as upbeat as you. So I'm going to do my sappy songs tonight.
good. Well, I could do a calm one too next. I do have 2 slow songs. No, I do have more.
Ken is running right now, so he can't
Oh,
take a
all
picture
right.
of doing a split. He cannot do a split, he says.
Okay.
But you can run further than me, Ken. So, okay. So this is a song I wrote. I'm in a songwriting group, and you get the prompt every week, and you must write to the
Oh,
prompt.
great.
And this is the first time in my life I've been in any sort of a club, and I'm desperate to not get kicked out because if you don't write the song. So I write the
Wow.
song every week. And this particular prompt was turbulence. And what it brought me back to was when my husband and I, a year ago, were flying with our baby. He was not helpful because of his intense fear of flying.
Oh.
And I think that I hadn't understood the fear of flying until the moment when I just so desperately wanted a break from holding the baby. And he couldn't do it. He was like white-knuckling the seat the whole time. And so I wrote this song trying to be empathetic about the fear of flying and trying to understand how he got the fear of flying in the first place. And I've decided that it was on a trip to see his ex-wife years ago. I found a way to blame.
Wow.
It's not really her fault. But what he told me was that he was always loved to fly, but he just had one particular flight that had turbulence, and he was just done after that. So this is for him.
Well, it is scary when it's going up and down. You feel
Yeah.
fine, and then you suddenly realize you're suspended in a tin can in the sky.
And I've never been in turbulence, so,
Oh.
you know, I guess I'm lucky.
Yeah, you have to just. Well, I close my eyes and think of England. If it's turbulence, I just go into denial mode. It's lovely. It's a beautiful flight. Oh, everything's lovely. I think I'll have a cup of tea. Lovely. Oh, fine.
That's probably what I do on a certain level, too, is just I pretend I'm not there. Pretend I'm in a bus. Because I think if we really appreciated how high we are, it might...
Well, you can't do anything about it. I mean, we're all in it together.
Yeah.
So what can you do?
I think we just need your voice on a recording saying, everything's fine, this is lovely, and we'll just play that on a loop.
Just get the Queen. Can get the Queen to do it. The Queen's speech. Just listen to the Queen's speech on
is lovely.
loop. Yes. Yeah, there you go.
All right, so this is called Oh, Colorado. I've never been to Colorado, but I would love to go to Colorado. Zoe, have you been to Colorado? You must have. You said you've driven all over the U.S. Did you play in Colorado? She's shaking her head. Yes, she has played in Colorado. All right. You might not know it to look at me, but I'm as soft as they come. I wear my heart out on my sleeve and watch me come undone. Woman, you found me broken and searching for a home. Oh, fortune, I follow you. Colorado, you leave me breathless and I can't stand no more. You take your shoes off, so free and fearless. I wonder if I should have known. It's best to let you run. Rocky Mountains I could see for the first time from above. The plane was shaking, I was thinking, oh, what we do for love. Oh man, I should have listened, what a tremulous way to start. Oh, fortune, I followed you. take your shoes off, so free and fearless. I wonder if I should have known. It's best to let you cautious steps like I was taking before you came to my door would leave me safe. I'd never know about life and loss and light and love and losing Colorado. You leave me breathless and I can't stand no more. You take your shoes off, so free and fearless. I wonder if I should have known. It's best to let you
Yay!
Thank you.
Is it on a new? Is that going to be on your new album or?
No,
or...
I wrote it too late. But I had written another song. So Zoe and I both have the same producer. Are you working on a new record?
I have got some new stuff going on. No, I'm actually doing some kid stuff for Netflix. Can you believe?
Really?
So, yes.
I mean, I can believe. Yes, I can believe. That's exactly what it
yes.
needs to be.
Well,
How did that come about?
I can't really say too much, but
Okay.
got found from a song I wrote called Sheep a million years ago, and it was on a Putumayo record. Do you remember Putumayo records?
No.
Or Putumayo it was on a CD, and if you go to these hippie shops or world shops, it's colourful, cartoony CDs, and they would have music from the coffee lands, or music from Brazil, or music calypso, or music from New Orleans, like tons of them, and I loved them. They were world beat compilations. They'd go to Africa, all over the world, and get great musicians. So they were very popular, but they were sold in record shops, but they were sold in clothing stores. So where you're buying your, woolen hat, you'd say, hey, I'll get this too. So then they put a kids record out, Folk Playground, and I got picked. I don't know how they found me, but they did. And that song I wrote about sheep, when I worked on a sheep farm in New Zealand years ago, I was sitting there with my moleskin notebook, looking at all the funny sheep, thinking they're not all the same. They're all different. And that song actually did really well for me and was #1 in Satellite Children's thing for 18 weeks. So they found me through that.
I am so glad to know that, because I've got to tell you that with my 2-year-old, I'm very sick of 5 monkeys jumping on the bed. So we'll have to move on to sheep.
Sheep, yes. Oh, I'll send you sheep.
Please do.
He'll be barring before you know it.
Ken
Yes.
knows the Putumayo CDs.
Ah, Ken.
He said he
Ken's
bought
great.
his first one at a wildlife center years ago.
Yes. Oh, because I loved them, and they really opened your ears to all different music from around the world, and they were a great company.
Yes, I'm going to have to look that up.
I got to play in F.A. Schwartz in New York, standing by a large sheep, I'll have you know. It was one of the highlights of my career.
I'm just so excited that you're doing that. That's that's the dream, right?
Well,
like,
I mean,
for all of us to get
just-
something on a
It's
show.
a proper job. I mean, it's, yeah.
Are you okay? Well, I
can't
understand.
go.
I can't talk anymore.
Enough already.
I'm just very excited for you. That's all.
Yeah, so it's all like new for me. So good things are going on right now.
I forget how I got off on that tangent, but I'm very excited for you. I think it's your turn to play a song, right?
Yeah, let's
Yes. Oh, I know, because I was talking, you asked me if that song's on the record, and I said I wrote it too late, and then I digressed.
Yeah, because John was saying how beautiful your record is and what a great songwriter you are. So I
Oh,
mean,
really?
I can't wait. When is the record coming out?
August 6th. And here's my struggle. I would love to get input here. Have you done radio campaigns before, I imagine?
I would probably say it's me with some envelopes.
Okay.
No,
Because
I'm not. I'm really like homestrung. You know, it's like I'm a small town girl, and I run my own business.
And
That's
so
what,
the success of it must feel all that much better.
Yeah, when people find you, when I'm 90, I'm going to really be big. Because people are going to go, oh, she, you know how it is.
In my opinion,
So-
you already are. Like, I am a fangirl.
Well, Dan, I'm gigantic if you were a fan. Thank you. I'm a fan of you.
You're welcome. So anyway,
So
I've
what were you
spoken
saying?
too much.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, tell about your radio campaign. What were you saying?
Oh, so you choose which radio format you will promote to. And it's lots of dollars. This is not little amount of dollars. It's many dollars. And I cannot figure out if it's a country record or if it's AAA Americana. And I don't know.
See, I hate, that's why I never did all, that's why I just sent it to, what kind of music? I'm not kids' music, I'm Zoe.
Yeah, you're Zoey
But,
Lewis
if
music.
kids like you are a jazz station or the world beat station or the funny station or the folk station, and we don't want to put ourselves in boxes, and then you're forced to decide what kind of music you play, and can't you just be you? So
Right.
that's why I figure when I'm 90, it will be the Zoe station and the
Yes.
Grace station.
Yes, well, I am fully on board with the Zoe station. And I would like to hear the Zoe station.
Okay. This is so funny. Sitting here talking to a box. But this is the Zoe and Grace station, really. Right now, you're on it. And I'm going to take you. Let's go to France. My mum was French. She made it to 96. We were very close. She was a lovely, lovely lady. And of course, I went to be her carer at the end, and I was a bit lost when she left this earth. But it's funny how things happen. I got booked to play on a cruise in France. It was a riverboat one along the Rhone. And I got all the old photo albums and everything left to me. And I remember growing up, looking at these old pictures of her and her sister in France with berets at a jaunty angle. They were in a cafe. She married my dad when she was about 19, 20, came to England. And she was born on July the 14th, Bastille Day. The whole of France celebrated her birthday, And so I looked at these lovely old photos, and I heard all these stories about where she grew up. She grew up in Paris. Then my grandpa died in the First World War, so it was just women. So my grandma was a secretary, and she worked for an American family, the Connettes. And they would go to Barbizon, this little village outside of Paris, for the summers. So my mum and her sister and the grandma and the mother, they would all follow, and she would do the secretarial work and follow them back. That was their job. But my mum would tell me stories of her as a girl going to this beautiful village, the house backed onto the forest, and she would run and be free and have the most wonderful summers. So I decided to go to Barbizon when she died and try and find the house. So I went with my girlfriend, and we got bicycles and we rode all around looking, and we asked all the people, and everyone was like, I think it is down there. We had the name of the house. It was called La Lisière, on the edge of the forest. And we met so many people. It was a small village, and by the end of it, everybody, bonjour, have you found it yet, girls? Have you found it? No, we haven't, but we're searching, and sometimes it's the searching, not always the finding, that's important. It was important for my heart then. 3 days, we knew the whole village. time to give the bicycles back to the bicycle shop. Go back to Paris. But then I saw another road, and it wasn't along the edge of the forest, it was one in. It was a really old road, and it suddenly dawned on me that the developers had put houses along a new edge, but the older edge was one in. And you know what? I went down there on my bicycle. I saw a big sign. It said, "Interdit, do not enter." We entered, we kept going. There was wisteria, old flint walls, and then there was a sign. It said La Lisière. I found the house I was looking for. You sometimes do find what you're looking for. It was just like the photos, just like the stories. That was my mum as a little girl. You now, no one, not anyone, living on the edge of the Fontainebleau. The rocks are like elephants, and the trees are like songs. The house is still standing there in Barbizon. Something, I'm looking for you. Rows of golden corn painted on the sky, amber and orange, all summer long. The clock is still ticking there in Barbizon. Into the sun, no one can catch you now. No one, not anyone, living on the edge of the Fontainebleau. Those rocks are like elephants, and the trees are like songs. The house is still standing there in Barbizon.
That was so beautiful, and I'm trying not to cry. I was a quick crier before I had a baby, but it is no joke. After you have one, it's like, boom.
You were a quick crier. That's so funny.
But isn't there just something...
I love it when people cry. People often come and say, "Oh, you made us cry," and I'm like, "Hooray!"
Yes, it's like you found the emotion and you just
you're like
nudged it. Whew. There's just something about homes that they just hold so much memory. It's making me cry thinking about it because my dad passed away a few years ago, and we had lost our family home, and it's just one of those things that I always wish that I could have saved it, because something about being there just makes you feel still connected, like still connected to the ghosts of them. Ooh-wee.
Well, it's like, that my house in England was knocked down. We sold it when my mum died, and we took a cheaper deal because they promised us they won't sell it to developers, but no, they knocked it down, and it's gone. a modern house is there, but it was a cute cottage. I grew up in a little, cute cottage. And so for me, it was even more magic finding it's still standing. It's there with all the stories. But the thing is, and I wouldn't look at the house in England. I went back every year and I would drive by or go by on my bike. I wouldn't look. I would turn my head. Now I can look at it. It's not the same. It's the piece of land, but it's not the same. But in my head, I can walk up the driveway. I know where the key's kept. I can go in the door. I know the smell. It's all in my head. So I actually wrote a musical. When I became a US citizen, I wrote a musical called Across the Pond because it was about the definition of home. So you can...
I'm crying.
Hooray! But you can close your eyes and see it. Can't you walk through that house?
Yes. It's true, and I've taken some yoga classes where the end meditation is close your eyes and go someplace safe, and that's what it is for me. I close my eyes, and every time I go home, even it's just
Oh, that's lovely that it's there. You don't lose it. That's the thing, and there's a lesson there. It's in you all the time. Same with people when they die. Yeah. You just have to. I think, what if I'm in trouble or I'm confused or something? I think, what would my dad say? What would my mum say? Or whoever would give you a sage bit of advice? And you know exactly what they'd tell you, and you're like, oh yeah. They're there. No.
I'm not going to play the song tonight, but I often talk about the last thing my father ever said to me, because I had gone to a songwriting festival in Texas, and he had a surgery, and he wasn't really well at the time, but I got a call that he had become septic. So I came home and I just kind of planted my butt next to him at the nursing home and waited. And he wasn't talking. He was essentially in a coma, and it was that, it could be any moment now type thing. And I was weeping, and he just opened his eyes and he looked at me and he said, "Cut the shit." And then he closed his eyes. And that's the last thing my dad ever said to me.
Oh my God, that's great.
But I think of that all the time. I'm like, okay, what would my dad say in this scenario? And it's always that.
Cut the shit. See? It's magic stuff. These are magic things.
Yeah.
They're all around us.
I visualized it when my grandpa passed away as, okay, now I get the pocket version of him that can just come with me wherever I go. And my grandpa's always right here with me in my pocket. That's how.
And you start looking in the mirror and you go, oh my God, that's my aunt. Or my aunt, I'd look at I'm like, I look like Tontina. Or, oh my, that's my mum. I'm getting a wrinkle here like my mum. Or it's like, that's my dad's chin. And then you think of them, oh, hi. Oh my God, hi. And then it's you. So, of course, it's inside you.
It's true. And even, with my son, whenever he's grumpy or doesn't want to do something I want him to do, he looks like my dad. It's just like perfect poetry, I think. Just as obstinate.
Amazing. Cut the shit.
So my dad was like, I don't know, he was a Marine, just to give context, and he owned that, he wore that like a badge of honor. He was a Marine, and he was very outwardly, if you met him, you would think, oh, he's a grumpy old man. But he wasn't. He just had this mask on all the time. Mm-hmm. And I started playing when I was a teenager, and all he would ever say to me is, I would say, oh, do you like this song? He said, just play the blues. Play country. Play the blues. And I fought it. Man, I hated the blues because he was forcing it on me, So since he passed away, I've tried so hard. But the blues is just not my medium. But I did come up with a country song. And I wrote this one with him in mind because he used to like old Western movies. And so I was noodling around the guitar, and I just came up with this thing, and I instantly could picture my dad. So I think he would like this song that I'm going to play.
Yay.
Boom. And just one more reminder, guys, that if you can, please contribute to our virtual tip jar. Zoe and I split it. And if you can't, we understand, but just please like our socials and follow us, because I promise you, I'm speaking for Zoe here, but when a new person likes my Facebook page, it can brighten my whole day. So, makes a difference. This song is called Free. What the hell was I thinking of when I let you turn the key. My tongue is tight, my breath is short. I didn't let you get the best of me. I heard the tires rumble, I felt the earth shake. I knew my hands trembled. Maybe my biggest mistake is wanting to find a life not needing anyone else to be. So I'm free. It's just me, and I'm free. What the hell was I thinking of when I didn't call you back? I came up short with the words to say. What an embarrassment. I heard the bells ringing, I started to sweat. I almost picked it up. Maybe my biggest regret is wanting to find a life not needing anyone else to be. So I'm free. It's just me, and I'm free. My heart beating, God, I can't relax. Sometimes love is fleeting, sometimes it comes back. I'm wanting to find a life spent loving somebody else, but it's me, and I'm free. It's just me, and I'm free.
I'm free. You are free.
The funniest
Oh,
thing
so
about
great.
recording that song, I had said to John, the producer, I said, I want this to sound like an old Western, and wouldn't it be funny if at the end of the song we can hear like a horse clip-clopping away? And so in that moment, he put a horse clip-clopping away and like a bing, like a little gunshot thing, which I thought was just a joke for the moment, but it's staying in there.
Oh, so great. That's so great. What's the album called, by the way?
Daughter, like the woman, not like the weed. Are you a gardener? No, this is not interesting to anybody but me. Do you garden?
I do, but
So we live on cranberry bogs.
yeah.
And when I first came to this family, I walked up the steps, and on the porch was a gallon, and on it said DOTTR.
Oh.
And I thought to myself, I said, oh my goodness, these people don't know how to spell. Like, what am I doing?
Well, that would be daughter. That's daughter where I'm from.
Yes, and
Daughter,
I had never
daughter.
I had never heard of daughter before. It's this awful like spaghetti that usually attacks cranberry plants. Are you familiar with it?
No, I don't grow cranberries. I do go and gather wild ones in the autumn, but
So I have beautiful gardens in my yard, and this past year I looked down and one of my bee balm looked like it was covered in spaghetti. And this
Wow.
weed, it doesn't have roots and it doesn't have chlorophyll. It just wraps around your plants and takes their chlorophyll. It's awful.
is it like is it green? Or,
No, it's like spaghetti. It's yellow.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I know.
So how do you get rid of it?
You pray to God that it didn't drop seeds and you pull it off your plants.
Oh my
Or you have to get rid of the plant because it'll just keep going around. So this year, watch my Instagram because my fingers are crossed that it didn't come back.
Where did it come from? It's some invasive species.
From the cranberry bogs. I don't know.
But I wonder where originally, like kudzu or something.
Yeah, someone mentioned that to me that they thought it might be like that, but I'd be interested if somebody can Google.
I wonder if you can eat it.
Oh, if it like spaghetti squash?
Yeah.
spaghetti
Well, I
dog.
mean, we have Japanese knotweed here, well, we have also, and that's invasive. I don't know if you know that. It's like bamboo. That's
Oh, yes,
in
yes.
Japanese. But it's Japanese knotweed is terrible, and it grows through people's floors if you're not careful, and it's very hard to get.
Really?
But we have it contained. It's okay. But I found you can, because I have my Yule Gibbons book. You can eat it. You can eat it at certain times. The shoots, they're like asparagus. So, yeah.
I should look
So
that
I
up.
just figure eat all the weeds, and then there you go. You've taken care of them.
Yeah, and you got your vengeance on the weed,
Exactly.
right? I like how you think.
Well, there's all, And you might not be able to eat as much as the weed grows, you know what I mean? But
True. So we're at this sad moment where this is the last song, and I've just had such a wonderful time getting to know you.
Oh, me too. You. Thank you so much for asking me. I was in Florida and I wasn't sure when I could get to be, in one place to do this. So this is the right time.
Oh,
I hope we can share the bill properly on a stage sometime.
Oh, I would love that so much, and I can play my accordion and my foot tambourine.
And you can scat.
I would have to plan my scat ahead of time. Oh my goodness. What is your last song, Zoe?
All right. So I want to play the ukulele because I haven't. And,
Zoe, what is Mule Gibbons?
Yule Gibbons, not Mule. Yule Gibbons, he used to do the commercial, cereal here. I didn't see it, wasn't in England, but Yule Gibbons, he lived off the land, and he had stalking stalking the wild asparagus, and another one about the blue-eyed scallop. Anyway, it's how to live off the land, to go gardening in the sea and find your food, and all the wildflowers and things that you can eat. Oh, it's amazing. But I mean, I have tons. Yeah, Yule Gibbons. He actually died of cancer, but I mean, but everyone's like, well, he shouldn't have because he was living so healthy.
Right.
But probably had pesticides on it or something. But the thing is, yeah.
Ken
anyway.
says he ate tree bark in a commercial.
Oh, he did. Ken, thank you.
Right? Ken, you and Ken are on a
Yeah,
wavelength.
we are on a wavelength. He ate bark.
I guess
Wow,
so.
I wonder what kind of bark. Yeah, you see, the thing is, you don't know these things unless you read your Yule Gibbons book, and then you can eat half the garden. I mean, look, purslane. There are things that are in fancy restaurants, and then you just look in the garden. Or there are weeds like all over Provincetown, and not to mention mushrooms. I'm a big mushroomer now.
Yes.
So, all right.
Is that a song you're going to write about being a mushroomer?
No, because I don't want to give away the secrets.
Oh, yes.
We're
okay.
very secretive
Smart.
mushroomers.
That's smart.
I'm not going to tell the people where they are. Well, it's been lovely. Thank you.
Thank
Are you going to do one after me?
Yes, next week I've got Patrick Landiza, who is the slack key guitar champion of the world. He's Hawaiian, and boy,
Wow.
can he play.
I meant, are you going to do a song after me?
Oh, no.
But you're good. But you're going to do a show
Next
next
Monday.
week. Brilliant.
No,
Right,
this,
I'll
this is
be
it,
sure
Zoe.
to. Okay.
You are closing out the show. No
And
pressure.
but if anyone's interested, I have a show next Sunday on Facebook, 5:00.
Do you
through the window.
Is it a series? Are you every Sunday?
No, it's like it used to be every Thursday, and now I kind of do it when I want.
Okay.
So it's the next 2 Sundays. But if you look on my zoeylewis.com, I just do it because it's quite a production when we do it through the window. I have drag queens. I have an amazing flautist, flute player this week. I have my friend Sarah Burrell. I have dancing fairies. It's called Spring Fling this Sunday coming. It's worth tuning in to see. There's a lot going on. I have a cigarette girl doing dances, all sorts.
And what time is that? It's on
5:00.
Sunday at 5 Eastern. Okay.
Yes.
Hi, Zoe from Vermont. From Colleen.
Hi, Colleen. Hey, nice to. Well, shall I finish off?
Yeah.
It's love, isn't Grace is just amazing, and you blew me away by your beautiful songwriting and your beautiful voice. And I can't see the comments here because she's the controller. But so sorry if I don't go, oh, it's you, but it's Colleen. And thank you for listening. And Grace, carry on. Keep calm and carry on. You know, I told you a little bit about my mom. I didn't tell you about my dad. You know, my mom had me when she was 51. So I grew up with parents who were really like grandparents. But they were my parents. And my mom always says I kept her young. She made it to 96 and she was always playing. She taught me to keep on playing, not just music, playing in life. It's very important. People sometimes need permission to play. It's okay to laugh. It's okay. We're going to get through this. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, but, you know, keep loving and keep laughing. Keep on playing. Age is just a number. I want to keep on playing till I'm 101, just like Ilona. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this message if you would. Life is so full of creases, that's why I think wrinkles are very good. It is most imperative to have a little joyfulness each day. So don't stop playing just because you grow old, or you'll grow old because you stop to play. Because you never know, you never know, you never know, you never know, you're never too old to be young. When you're halfway through, you just begun. Never too old to be young, yeah. When they tell you to act your age, they obviously lacking in expertise. Can't they see it doesn't matter unless you're a bottle of wine or you're a piece of cheese? So when those twilight years smile down like diamonds upon you, please remember when you think you've done it all, you're gonna always find something new. Cause you never know, you never know, you never know, you never know, you're never too old to be young. There's a million songs to be sung, cause you're never too old to be young. Everybody, if you were wise, you can have whatever you visualize. If you believe it, you really can be like Peter Pan. Oh, cause you're never, you never, you never, you never know, you're never too old to be young. From the age of 3 until 101, you're never too old to be young. Oh, no, no, you never know, you never know, you never know, you never know, you're never too old to be young. There's a million songs to be sung, cause you're never too old, no, you're never too old, you never, no, you never, no, you never, 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 never. I know you never, 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 no, you never, 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 never. I'm never going to end this song, never, 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 I never, I never, I never, 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 no, you're never too old to be young. Thanks, everyone.
Zoey Lewis, you're amazing.
Thank you, Grace. You're the best.
Woo.
Cheerio.
Have a
Lots
great
of
night,
love.
everybody.